Hello everyone and welcome to this video. This video is gonna be a little different from what I usually do, but it's because soon enough WWDC 2018 is happening and Apple is gonna unveil all the new stuff that we are gonna expect to receive this year. So that's why this time I wanted to record this video to give you my expectations for this year. And that's the thing, my expectations are not too high. I'm gonna give my opinions on what I expect, what I would like to have, but what we are probably not gonna receive. I'm not following too much the rumors, so don't expect this to be a list of rumors for this year. But it's more about what I think Apple should do and should give us. And the first thing is a cheaper iCloud. It's insane that in 2018 we're having these prices for remote storage. I pay because I really like iCloud photo library and I have the already like 200 gigabytes full of photos and videos because I record a lot of things. The issue is that the next step on the tier, it's basically 2 terabytes for 10 pounds, 10 euros, whatever you use. But there is no middle gap. It's like, or you go to 200 gigabytes, you go directly to 2 terabytes. Which obviously 2 terabytes is good, it's good enough, but that gap is too big. And I think Apple should rethink the prices, but again, I'm not sure it's gonna happen because for what? Like their business is basically now centered into services and they are not gonna reduce the cut they get from there. Talking about iCloud and now more into developer focus, which is what I expect this video is gonna be more focused on, is I want iCloud functions in Swift. Like, come on, like Swift can run in a server. Why Apple doesn't give us iCloud functions like any other backend as a service provider? Like you can do it on Azure, you can do it on Amazon, you can do it everywhere. But of course, they're not making it Swift because every backend like that is now done in Node.js with JavaScript for web developers. But Apple should give more focus to Swift and they have a chance to do it on the server side. And they should be able to provide us this to us. Imagine that now we can write all our backend functions in Swift and managed by Apple in their services. Yes, it's not perfect. Not everybody is going to use them because obviously it's only for Apple platforms. But I think it will be a huge step, not for the developers much, but to give a name to Swift in the backend. Next thing, it's faster automatic uploads. iOS, I don't know, many versions ago, they introduced on the App Store this way to automatically update the apps to the last version, and it's really good. It's amazing. In my personal experience, we basically have almost 90-something% of users in the last 2 versions, being around the 60-something% in the last version, and that's amazing, you know, because it means that we can roll out new features and be sure that people is gonna get them. But even if these numbers are really good, I would really love to get all these new versions of the app with all these features faster to our customers. So I think that Apple could do something around that. And another thing that we have been waiting for ages, and it's still not there, is custom Apple watch faces. We all want to write a custom watch face for our watch. That will create a new huge wave of apps for the Apple Watch. A platform that it's been stagnated since the beginning. It has, the SDKs are more limited than they should have by now. I accept that in the beginning it was harder to take out all the performance from those hardware, but right now like they are super powerful, and even if they don't want to open everything as in the phone, like with all the custom UI kit, I don't know, but like the API to create watch faces, it's something that everyone is expecting for ages. Digital well-being, that's an interesting one because Google just announced all the digital well-being stuff where you can have full customization about the notifications, which apps give you at which time. They even have a dashboard so you see how much time you spend on the phone and you should feel bad about that. So they want you to stop using their phone, which goes a little against what Google says. So it's super surprising that Google did that before Apple. And that's something they should be ashamed of. Like they should go out this WWDC and say, no, we are here to make people's life better and they should focus on that. To be honest, I don't expect it for me personally, because I don't have any issue with that. I've never had any issue. I just drop the phone. I don't care. I have the phone basically all day, forever in mute, so I don't even hear anything. I just feel it vibrate, and then early in the evening it already goes in do not disturb, and I don't care about what people sends me until next day. The next one is something that everybody wants, that I would like to have, but as a developer I don't. Please don't. Dark mode. Dark mode is one of these things that everybody would like to have, and I'm the first one, because bright lights really hurt my eyes, so I really prefer like dark UIs. The issue is that UIKit is already a big beast. Adding dark UI to it, I'm sure they will come up with a great API, but with all the baggage they already have code-wise in that framework, I'm really worried about how it will affect all the apps and all the developers for the next few months. The next thing I would like to have as a new SDK, as a new framework on iOS, it's finally, they should show us why they bought Workflow. That application that was like Automator for iOS, but way better, they should show us why they bought that. Because they have been keeping updating the app, but we want that Workflow team to be integrated with the whole platform and redefine what the workflows and the productivity apps can do in iOS. I think that needs to be a huge step forward into the iOS platform, into communication between apps, like all these kind of things. Share extensions and all the new extensions API, but we still miss a universal way of doing everything in an easy way. But as you can see, I'm not expecting too much stuff from the user's perspective. Yeah, maybe like a slightly improvement on design-wise on the UI interface of iOS 12 with like the new macOS, make it nicer together, yeah, whatever. But I don't really expect much from them, because for me, the platform is already mature enough, like they have everything I need for my day-to-day, and of course they will come up with new things that I didn't expect and I will like them, but it's not one of my main expectations. In my case, what I want is them to focus about give us things for developers, things that actually changes our day-to-day work. So what I don't want especially, and that's something I will be really sad if they do it again, I don't want iOS 11 again. iOS 11 has been one of the worst releases, at least in my opinion, in terms of bugs, new APIs that they introduced to deal with the notch, that even if the new APIs are great, like dealing with them in a retrocompatible way, it has been a mess. I'm not the only one that has suffered through these 4 months, and now that we are back in a stable place in our apps. But it's not only about the notch, it's like the whole iOS 11 has been really buggy. Things that worked before, crashes that we didn't have before. I mean, I'm really happy about the stability of the app I work on, but still, we have seen a lot of things on iOS 11 that I don't want to repeat. I want to go to this winter and know that iOS 12, that I'm waiting for people to get iOS 10, that I want people to update to iOS 12. In this case, we were actually expecting people to just forget a little bit about iPhone X. And on that note, I want them to focus on developers. And yes, I know the last year they released ARKit, the ML framework, which is great things for the platform. People have been doing great things with it. But those things are just useful for apps and developers that focus on those parts of the ecosystem. It doesn't help the vast majority of us. So what I want from this year is that they focus on things that actually affect all of us. Improvements in the tooling, faster compilation times. They have been talking about this new Marzipan framework that it's gonna be, well, it depends on the day. Some days it's gonna be just a cross-platform framework, other days it's gonna be a declarative UI framework. I don't know what they're gonna do. I already said that for me, I would love to see Apple release a new multi-platform layer that sits on top of UIKit and AppKit, and on top of that make a declarative framework like React or even Flutter. That's the way people want to build UIs nowadays, and Apple is staying behind. A good API should provide the 2 levels of abstraction, like the high level, like with these declarative APIs, but people shouldn't think that we need to stop writing code in an imperative way like we do in UIKit. For specific things, like performance sensitive things or even some kinds of trick animations, I'm perfectly fine going down that level and start working with a battle-proof API that we have on UIKit. But for the vast majority of things, a declarative UI framework will be my, well, I will go and be the most happy developer in the world if they announce something like that. Once they have that, they can add things like hot reloading super easily, and they have a better way of dealing with multi-platform stuff. I don't think they are gonna do it this year because some people have been saying that they are working on it maybe, but it's something they are prototyping. And for me, another big thing that Apple needs to think about is how to integrate better all the stuff about universal links and push notifications, deep linking, all the stuff they have given us already years ago. But if you read my post about the Google I/O, they announced about they basically made storyboards for Android, but those storyboards for Android are a huge improvement. They have a way to define the deep links in there. They create the backstack for them. It's great. And finally, Swift. The thing about Swift is that because it's open source, we already know everything is gonna come. That's the bad part about it. Like, we are not gonna be surprised because we already know what the next version is gonna have. A lot of things come from the community itself, which is great. So that's it. I don't think that we're gonna get much stuff about Swift. That's pretty much it. As you can see, I don't have many expectations for iOS 12. I will hope that for this new release, with the new Xcode and new SDKs, they bring us to the level of productivity and nice modern things that other platforms has. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to receive more.